So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put together a roughly $1,000-ish pure performance gaming PC. Couple caveats per usual. The first caveat is if you find decent deals, this is actually a $900 pure performance gaming PC, because I bought every single one of these parts directly after Prime Day, when everything was either now overpriced or completely out of stock and you got to overpay somewhere. There is not a single deal in this parts list. These are all like slightly overpriced parts right now. So realistically, this is about a $900 pure performance gaming PC. But even if you spend $1,000, it'd still be pretty good. Second caveat. Wait, what was the second caveat? Was that all I had? Dude, I think, yeah, that's it. All right, that's it. I got you. Here we go. CPU of choice for a $1,000 build. You know we got to go with the Ryzen 5 9600X. This is where it hurts right here, man. This is definitely where it hurts. This was priced at $150 on Prime Day. $150. Absolutely insane. They were previously at about $200. So like it was an honest $50 Prime Day sale. But it was so good that we were all thinking, or I think we were all were thinking, maybe that's just going to be the new price of it, because like Prime Day isn't usually that good. Now it's back up to like $205, and that's like exactly what I paid for this. So if you would have bought this a week earlier, you could have saved $50. For the RAM, this is some G-Skill Flare X. This is a 32 gigabyte DDR5 kit, clocked at 6,000 megahertz with a CL30. I got a mini disclaimer for you. G-Skill is what I would consider one of the absolute most reliable, stable, predictable, those all mean the same thing, RAM kits through DDR3, DDR4, DDR5. It's always been like that. I have always trusted G-Skill, and I think most of the community has as well. However, G-Skill makes an Intel-based RAM kit and an AMD Expo-based RAM kit. The Intel one is, oh my god, what is it? Not the Flare, the Ripjaws. The Ripjaw, yes, thank you. It's the Ripjaws S5. This is the Flare X5, okay? The Ripjaws S5 is specifically tuned for Intel. Now, I know this is gonna sound super common sense, but hear me out. The Ripjaws kit for Intel has always been cheaper than this one. And I have bought that Intel one for AMD CPUs ever since AM5 came out. We have had no issues. It's been amazing. Not anymore. I don't know what's going on, but we've been having some serious issues at the office mixing the Intel Ripjaws S5 with AM5 motherboards and CPUs. We have definitely not narrowed down exactly why, but we have officially like committed internally that we're only going to buy the actual AMD ones from now on. I know you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to buy the Expo one if you're using AMD, but you definitely don't have to, except right now. We've been having some major issues. So that's why we're going with the Flare X5. It's a little bit more money. I think this is like $105. But I no longer trust, at least temporarily, the Ripjaws S5 kit with AMD CPUs. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with that, but that's the lowdown on that one. All right, here's the motherboard. This is the MSI Pro B650-S Wi-Fi. This is a, entry to mid-level B650 motherboard. This is usually priced around $150. It's all black, got a very clean design. Works perfectly fine with Ryzen 5s. I wouldn't pair this with maybe a super high-end CPU. You probably could, honestly. But this is a perfect sweet spot for a $1,000 build. I've used this one a lot. For the SSD, we actually have a non-Clev crap. We opened this up to film it. Sorry. We have a non-Clev Crass. We're going with the Silicone Power UD90. This is a 1TB Gen 4 NVMe. I think Silicone Power has finally had enough with the Clev Crass C910 meta, and over the last like 3 or 4 weeks, this has actually been cheaper than the Clev Crass C910, which I've used in the past like 8 Thirsty Thursdays or something. So that is good to see that they're adjusting their prices accordingly. For the CPU cooler, we got an ID Cooling Frozen A410. This is one of my favorite all black CPU coolers. Super clean, minimal, flat design. I really like that. Very aesthetic, especially for a pure performance gaming PC where we don't want RGBs and whatnot. For our power supply, we're trying to save a little bit of money here. The A550BN, this will be enough for our GPU. Close call, but it'll be fine. This is a tier C. Again, I like tier C models for $1,000 or less builds, and this is realistically a $900 build. Not modular, 80 plus bronze, basic, but only $55, so it allows you to spend more money on your performance impacting components, such as the Asus Prime RX 9060 XT. I have made 2 videos today alone and several others before that talking about how this is literally the new meta. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the graphics card that I've been featuring in those videos. Anybody watch those videos today? I was holding this graphics card in 2 of our 3 videos today, talking about how this is the meta. If you were building anywhere from a 900 to maybe like an 11, maybe even a probably not a 12, 11 to $1,200 or $9 to $1,100 build, this is exactly what I would recommend. Not just this Asus Prime, even though I do love this Asus Prime. That is such a clean design. That looks so good. I actually really like that. I love like black lettering or black logos on black. I think that looks so good. So clean. But yeah, any 9060 XT 16 gig will work for a build like this. Asus sent out this Prime one a while ago whenever these launched, so that's why I'm using it today. I've had my eye on this case, man. I am glad we're finally going to get to test it out. I bet very few people know what this is, unless if you read the Instagram post. This is the DIYPC DIY-G18-WD. The G18 wood. This is a $57 case. It comes with 4 pre-installed all black fans, which is perfect for a pure performance gaming PC like this. Way less work for me to do. Big open ATX, all black, minimal. Got that typical DIY PC, you know, not flimsy, but not sturdy metal to it. But by only spending $57, that allows us to squeeze out the maximum price to performance. And I think this all black and a hint of wood grain design is going to look super clean. Super clean. But yeah, that's the whole parts list. That is everything for the $900/$1,000 pure performance gaming PC. All right. Here we go. We're going to open up the latch here. We're going to put the 9600X in just like that. Give it a little wiggle test. Make sure it's firmly in there. Close that. Latch it down, press hard. Pull this off. CPU is installed. Let's go. For the RAM, again, we got the G-Skill Flare X5. This is a 32 gigabyte DDR5 kit. Clocked at the Meta. Dude, sorry, hold on. I need a couple more B-roll shots here. Clocked at the Meta of 6,000 megahertz with a CL rating. of 30. If you're buying RAM these days, that is honestly what you should be shooting for. 6000 megahertz CL30. If you don't find exactly that, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. That is just what you should probably aim for. Maybe 6400 megahertz. I can be convinced to go that high, but honestly, not much higher than that. All right, let's do this. You guys want to hear this snap? I got you. I got you. Hold on. We're gonna gently set it on there. It's not locked in, but this is what it sounds like when you do lock it in. Hold on. I got you. Dude, why did my mic peak on that? My mic went in the... I don't know how well you guys heard that. My mic went into the red on that. How's that possible? Oof, that wasn't a great one. That one I went side to side on. You could hear the right click and then the left click. That's how you know it wasn't good. But all right, here we go. Shout out to the LTT transparent screwdriver, by the way. Probably my favorite screwdriver at this point. I bet he only pays attention to Twitch chat. Dude, try to rage bait better. Your guys' rage bait has been slacking. We're an hour and 7 minutes. I shouldn't say that, never mind. Disregard that. All right, here we go. We will remove this. And then we will remove this cover for the heat shield. Dude, that's a nice B-roll shot too. I'm getting a little dialed in on the B-roll today. Let's go. You should add 7TV emotes. Like, I vaguely know what that is. And I know that there's like a big community in that thing. But like, I don't know, man. Like, do I want to be involved in that? No, you don't. You'd want it. No clue. All right, we just got all three possibilities. Back to back to back. Chat will just spam it. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. You can add your emotes. We have emotes. We have a few emotes for subs. 7TV is more for the chat getting more emote options that are free. Like, how important is that? I mean, I am not a talker in streams. Like, I watch a fair amount of Twitch. Like, when I'm eating lunch or something, I'll usually just pop on a Twitch stream. Especially on Thursdays. Ironically, on Thursday, well, it's not ironic, but on Thursdays, I will typically watch more streaming content than I do, because it kind of gets me in the mood for the day of streaming. But I don't ever talk in streams, so I don't know how important extra emotes are. Very important for engagement, says nuclear supernova. All right, look here, nuclear supernova. I agree. I agree, engagement is important. But I feel like you can create chat engagement in a better way than emotes, right? I don't know, man. Can I get one spare gifted USB flash drive? No, we actually have a use for them. Not yet. But we have a plan for our huge box. And it would cost me more money to ship it to you than to just buy one on Amazon for like $3. If your audience are adults, yes. Couple new holes in the drywall. Yeah, there's a few, man. I got a wall dedicated to the Thirsty Thursday rage bait. All right. Just make sure to apply thermal paste. We do need to apply thermal paste today. No pre-installed paste this time. I'm not Batman with Twitch Prime sub. Nyan, also Twitch Prime. Harry Bells with the tier 1 sub. Gifted sub. Alright, here we go. This is the longest CPU cooler install in history. And that's assuming we even get it installed. We got a long way to go here, man. Okay. Go Steelers? I agree, man. I think today was the first day of training camp, right? I kind of fell off the Steelers news there for a little bit. Is today the first day of training camp? Guys, you whoever multiple people are saying we can't see or your mic is muted. Like, come on now. If you want to participate in the rage baiting, I'm just letting you know right now, you gotta step that game up a couple levels. That's amateur rage bait. We don't fall for that anymore, man. Don't get me wrong, we used to, but we. Oh, your mic's muted, dude. Come on now, you gotta level up. Oh my god, was that rage bait? No. My brain's too fried to process if that was... Is that reverse rage bait? I don't know, man. I don't have it in me to think that one through. Thank you with the tier 1 sub, thank you. I stole your toast with the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate that. Shooting the podcast with the $5 super chat says, I have a 9600X and a 9060 XT. Is there a better combo? I mean, that's literally what I'm building right now. I play a lot of TLD. TLD, yeah. Everyone knows what that is. Yeah, definitely. I love TLD. That's a good game. Should I have gotten a different combo? It depends what resolution you're playing in, man. I'm just gonna let you know that this is a fantastic pure performance 1440p combo. If that's what you were looking for, then just be happy with what you have. You did a great job. If you are trying to play like 1440p Ultra with ray tracing, then maybe you made a mistake. Let's put on some thermal paste. We're gonna use some what it came with, the ID Cooling Frost X25. Put a nice little P on our 9600X. A lot of that's a pretty big blob, or that's flirting with a P and a half right there, but a P nonetheless. We already removed our plastic shield there, and now we're just gonna install this. Line up these two screws like so, or try to. I gotta twist it around. I can't see. There we go. Try to get them to catch. We are not going to screw it down the whole way on one side until we make some progress on the other. That way we can evenly distribute some of that pressure back and forth a little bit, and then tighten it down. Just like so. Zweezy with Twitch Prime sub. Corv with the super chat says, is it worth to upgrade to AM5 5700X with the 7800 XT? That's a good question. 5700X and a 7800 XT. I would say that you are fine right now. All right, we're gonna use this ancient technology wire bracket system. Put that there. And then I'm going to plug in the fan connector on the CPU fan header on the motherboard. Then I'm going to try to hide these cables underneath the CPU cooler for aesthetics. I put them over here, actually. And then we will be done. Like that. There we go. All right, let's get this power supply out. Again, this is the MSI Mag A550BM. W Weenie. I love his videos. Nice. Yeah, I do a weekly newsletter, like a written newsletter for Java, where I feature one build that I think is really good value to, like, as a buyer on Java. And his build was the one I did last week. Can you talk about the PC from Weenie Tech Builds in Java? No, you can just read the newsletter, to be honest. I definitely don't remember that at this point. Sorry. That one had to be brain dumped. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. We've had a week over here at ZTT. My brain is... I'm not remembering anybody's builds right now. You know, since this is a non-modular power supply, and we are not using cable extensions, this is already prepped and ready to go. So we got nothing else to do here, man. It's all good. We can actually get out the case and start installing stuff. This is the starting point of our DIYPC. What's this thing called? The G18 wood. Dude, this is, man, I don't know what this night's turning into, but not something I'm a big fan of, to be honest. We have quite a project ahead of us here, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot of cables to route. I do see a decent amount of zip tie-down points. Oh, yeah, a good amount of zip tie-down points. Okay. That's not terrible. It's still a lot of cable. We got a lot of fans, no hub. Everything is daisy chained, but no SATA connectors. I mean, this won't be terrible, especially since we don't have cable extensions. It won't be terrible. We're okay. We're okay. All right, let's install the motherboard. Time to show some management skills? Oh, you must be new. That is one thing that we do not show off on Thirsty Thursday, are the cable management skills. There is somebody at the office every Friday morning who is ready to fix the cable management of the Thirsty Thursday build. He is let me increase the brightness here a little bit. There we go. He is ready to go for my lack of cable management on Thirsty Thursday. All right. Oh, we don't have enough standoffs. We don't have nearly enough standoffs. What are we doing here in this ATX case? We need way more standoffs. Is the Ryzen 5 5500 still good? It's good if you want a, like, brand new sub $700 build. Yes, it is still good. Does it perform amazing in CPU demanding titles in 2025? I mean, not really. It gets the job done. It pairs very nicely with... Okay, I gotta dump this. It pairs very nicely with GPUs like an RX 6600 a 5700 XT, a 2060 Super. You know, budget GPUs like that. It's good for the value. Okay, sorry, we're watching just some good old-fashioned organizing here. Dude, my brain's fried, man. I'm done. Getting ads makes me want to lose the game. Yeah, unfortunately, ads are what pay for these giveaway PCs. I hope you guys know that, like, I can't, like, just give away PCs for fun. Dude, one day, I wish. One day we might get to that level, but right now it's you know, I gotta make that money so I can do that. And that's what ads do. I know it's annoying. I hate watching ads. You know, but when we watch ads, we get to give away PCs, which is really cool. That's why we do it. That's not what I need. I need the standoff tool. Where's my standoff tool, man? Oh my god, where is my standoff? Oh, there's one. Hopefully that works. We're getting low on the little standoff tools. More ads, please? Should we crank it up? Try and get some 5090 giveaways? Dude, I'm down if you guys are. I think right now it's at 6 minutes an hour, maybe? Something like that? I genuinely don't remember. It's whatever Twitch recommends. Should we crank them up so we can give away 5090s? I mean, all the current Twitch subscribers are like, yeah, definitely. Don't bother me. We need more ads. Wow, we have a genuine conversation of people saying we need more ads. I never thought I'd see that before. Make it an hour every 6 minutes. Oh, dude, we could put some serious work in on that one. Dude, I'd be just throwing the 5090s out. That'd be great. All right, we got our standoffs in place. There we go. Oh yeah, now we're back in business. Line that up. No way, I forgot one. Oh my god, I put it in the wrong spot. I don't know if you can see that. But the standoff is here. It's supposed to be here. I messed that up. My bad. Can someone tell me the case? It's the DIYPC G18-WD. It's only on Newegg. Quadruple the ads? Dude, we can make that happen. Twitch gives me a slider. I can crank that thing up. Every time I look at it though, I'm like, dude, nobody's gonna watch if we do like 3 more seconds of ads an hour. Everyone's gonna stop watching Thirsty Thursday. The only data that I get is that the ads are absolutely brutal. That's all anybody says. If we keep having conversations like this, though, I might be tempted to crank it up. Maybe double the pre-roll? No, pre-rolls are bad. We can't do the pre-rolls. The pre-rolls are what actually gets people to click somewhere else. Pre-rolls suck. I use an ad block, so crank it up. There you go. Anybody building a PC right now? Am I the only one building? I know Shauner's been putting in some serious work this week. Anybody else build a PC today? Or actively building a PC today? Yes, sir. Yeah, a couple guesses already. Let's go. Shawner says 4 PCs this week. That is 4 times more than I did this week. That's impressive. Working on it? Let's go. I built one a week ago? Nice. Building mine right now? That's awesome, man. 2 days ago. Watching to get one? There you go. Best of luck. I did a few days ago at work. That sounds like a good job. If you get to build PCs at work, that sounds pretty legit. Lika with the super chat says, what CPU do you recommend to go with? A 3060 for gaming? If you want to keep it affordable, I would go with a 5600 on AM4. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to go AM5 though, and get like a 7500F, or even if you want to get a 9600X, that would work too. That'll raise the price up a good bit, but 5600 is probably the sweet spot for a 3060, but it depends on how much you want to spend and how much you want to future-proof it a bit. Alright, now we're not going to go full camera salesman, but the whole reason I bought this camera was so we can do this, guys. This is literally the entire reason. So, excuse me, but I'm gonna take full advantage so you guys can actually see me plug in these cables. Actually, I'm not ready. Sorry, I gotta unzip tie these before we do that. But then you guys can watch. That's the whole reason I bought that camera. Alright, what do we have here, actually? Well, actually, yeah, why don't you guys take a look? We have a daisy chain. Oh, this is all 4 of the fans daisy chained. That just goes to this one PWM connector. And then we have twist tie. Our normal case connectors down here. We'll start with some HD audio action. That's USB 2.0. Here's some HD audio. All right, we finally have the technology. So you guys can see, well, oh yeah, we discovered last night that the camera still doesn't work. Because even if we have the right angle, my hand is still gonna get in the way. You guys, or my bald spot. You guys still can't really see me plug in. But it's better than nothing. Alright, HD audio. I just plugged that in right there. Next up, we will do some USB 2.0 action. We'll plug that in right over here. Then we can do some USB 3.0 action, which is right next to it. Coming underneath here. We'll plug that in. One thing that I usually do with the USB 3.0 connection, since it is a big one, is I'll usually leave like a healthy loop here and not pull it super tight, because then that can yank on the header on the motherboard and cause some damage. So I like to leave a little bit of a loop up there. And then we got the USB-C connector over there. Same thing with that one. We don't want to pull it super tight. This one's actually even flimsier. So we want to leave a little bit of a loop out there for USB-C. And now we have the fan header, which there is one right up here. That is for all 4 fans are going to be, they're daisy chained to that connector right there. Actually, I think there's a better spot. Just to keep that all one nice line. Let's go down here. There's a fan header right here. Look at this, man. I can actually show you guys what I'm doing. There we go. That's better down there. And then the last thing we have are all of the annoying case connectors. These are the tiny ones. I'm going to unplug the USB 3.0 first, actually. That way I can pull these up through here and then put that there. Now I'm going to plug these in, and you guys are still definitely not going to be able to see this because these are tiny and it's dark in here, but I'm going to do my best. HDD light. We'll plug that in down there. LED switch. Power switch. What else we got? Power positive. Power negative. Boom. And then we don't need that. And then those we can definitely pull tight. And then boom. All of the connectors are plugged in. And now we have to start the first round of cable management. POV cam soon? I'm not opposed. How fun is it building PCs? I never had the money nor the parts to try, sadly. It is one of my favorite activities. But I am not going to speak for everybody. I have been a super nerd, specifically when it comes to technology and PCs for my entire life. I genuinely love doing it. I like it even better while drinking a beer and chatting to other PC builders. That is almost peak fun for me. But I mean, everybody thinks... Everyone has different opinions, so I don't know, man. That's just... It's fun for me. It's really fun for me. We need a petition for more ads. Dude, I'm down, man. I'm down. Let's go, 6 ads. Now, this is a conversation I genuinely never thought we'd be having. I have seen nothing but complaints about ads for years. As soon as you mention that the ads pay for the giveaways, oh, dude, let's do more. I'm down, man. You don't need to tell me twice. Alright. Why only 8 ads? We need at least 20? Dude, I can make it happen with a quick button press. Do you have any hobbies other than computers? I do. I shouldn't laugh. I do. I am big into fitness. That is definitely my biggest non-PC building hobby. I am in the gym, you know, probably 5 or 6 times a week. That's a big one. Other than that, man, like I mean, I used to have hobbies. I actually used to have a lot of hobbies. Fishing, RC helicopters, all sorts of stuff. Off-roading in my truck, golf, basketball. I used to have hobbies, man. Hobbies are difficult as a parent. Okay, look, I mean, the cable management, not too shabby. We have a healthy amount of zip ties in here already, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, I missed one too. I mean, that's not looking terrible. There is no way that I can continue to drink beer and build computers and not accidentally snip a cable. That will absolutely happen at some point. It's gonna suck. But A, I will get content out of it, and B, like we are already way overdue for that happening. Oh, hold on. Oh, that camera angle is a little off. Let me just adjust that real quick. Nope, no problem, man. I can do that easily. Although we have a major problem. I didn't get the screws out for the power supply. Major problem. There we go. I got it. Is that PSU upside down? I don't know if that's rage bait, but I feel like some rookies are actually asking that. Yes, it is upside down. The reason you want it upside down is because you want the fan on the bottom. The fan on a power supply is intaking air. It's drawing in fresh air, and at the bottom of most standard size cases are holes for airflow. So you put the power supply with the fan face down, and it draws in cold air to keep the power supply cool, and then it exhausts out the back. So yes, it looks upside down, but it is correct. What if the PSU is put into a case with no PSU basement? Well, the actual basement is kind of irrelevant. What really matters is if your case has the airflow holes on the bottom. No matter if there's a basement or not, if you have the airflow holes on the bottom, then you want to put that fan face down. The only time it's like really weird these days is if you're using an ancient case where the power supply is up top, like the sleeper build that we just did 2 weeks ago. You have to mount the power supply up top, but up top didn't have any airflow holes. So at that point, you put the fans down, and you're basically getting the PSU to draw in air that was already inside the case. It's not ideal, but you wouldn't want to flip it upside down and it's trying to draw air from just a flat top of the case. That wouldn't do anything. But almost every standard case is set up like this these days, so just fan down, let it get some airflow. Do you watch The Greatest Technician? Every now and then, yeah. I've been enjoying his, I don't like religiously follow him. I would love to do a collab with him. And I have been watching his new Office series. He got all that new office space, and as a fellow business owner, I definitely like seeing what people do with a new spot and whatnot. But yeah. Oh my god, you guys aren't... Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I really jacked that up. I just plugged in the 24 pin. Right there. My fault. Should have had that on camera. Now I'm going to grab the 4+4 for the CPU. Route that up here. And plug that in. Oh, I got it upside down. Like so. How was helping Trent the Traveler? Yeah, I was talking about that at the very beginning of the stream. It was fun. He, like I was saying, he actually offered to fly me out and help build the PC. The scope of the project changed a little bit. We were actually going to do something completely different than how it turned out originally, and then he might have actually needed my help. But the project evolved, and like I was just answering all the questions that he needed, and he had a very good foundation of how to build a PC already. Like he ran into some problems, like he explained in the video, and you know, when I'm dealing with anybody that I don't know what their PC building skill is, I'm obviously going to start with like the most basic troubleshooting tasks first. And like he did everything. Like he has a good foundational PC building knowledge. So it was a very smooth operation from my point of view. I basically just helped him pick the right parts, because he's like ROG said that they'll basically send me anything we want, but we have to use as many parts as possible. So we did that, and then the height Y70, that was all me. 'Cause he's using the same case in his van that I am. But I told him, because I knew the placement of where the PC would be in the van, and all of his thumbnails are shot like at this angle. And I was like, that screen on the PC, if you go with this case, is gonna be in every single thumbnail. It's gonna look so good. So he liked the idea, and that's why we went with that. But I mean, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I was a big fan of him before he reached out or anything. Way before he even knew who I was. So it was very cool. I was happy to help him. Where's the 24/7 stream of only ads? One day, man. One day. What's your thoughts on a Linux-based gaming PC? I mean, if you're talking about like a Steam Deck, oh, you guys aren't watching what I'm doing. If you're talking about like a Steam Deck, then I mean, that's obviously great. Yeah, like a desktop is a little bit more involved, but I think that's a very fun project. It's not for the faint of heart. If you've never used Linux before, I would recommend dual booting, at least till you get up to speed on it. But I mean, it's come a long way. That's for sure. All right, there we go. Is that it? I think that's the cable management. We just gotta, dude, I mean, that doesn't look just, here. That doesn't look that bad, man. That's actually pretty impressive for me. I don't hate that at all. We just have a slight rat's nest down there, but that, I mean, that's okay. It's all good. Now we just gotta install our GPU. We might need a GPU support bracket for this one. I do not know. But if we do, we have them. I think I got some here at the house, actually. I gotta remove these brackets first, though. These are the wiggle style of brackets that we gotta be super careful with and snap off, and then you throw those away. You don't need those. Like so. Oh my god, I completely messed that up. I don't know if anybody noticed. Nobody said anything. I completely messed that up. We're coming back in here, man. I completely cable managed the GPU power cable and threw it down in here. That will definitely not work, man. We need some GPU. Did anybody say that and I missed it? We need some GPU power cable action for sure. Painful is not here to nitpick. He would have found that one, man. Painful would have never allowed that to happen. Is this set up at your office or at your house? This is at my house. But I have just finalized the streaming setup at the office. And then it'll just be me to start, which will be fun. We'll probably start with just some casual streams, you know, maybe at the end of my workday, maybe for a quick lunch break or something like that. I just want I wanted to build the ability to go live quickly. Like when I'm at the office, if I just want to go live just for like a quick hour or something, I wanted to build a studio set that allows me to do that, which is what I did. But then eventually, I also want to be able to live stream with an employee or several employees. I think it'd be really cool to bring some employees into the live streams. That way they can build a PC, or we like tag team a PC or whatever it is. I think it'd be super fun. But yeah, that's coming soon. Would love to see them on stream. Yeah. There's some people that think that, like, I see comments that are like assuming that like I build all the PCs on zttbuilds.com. I want to show people that there is a team behind ZTT Builds. Somebody said, why only the one CPU power cable? So this is an example of a motherboard that has two sets. I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a 4+4 on the left and a 4+4 on the right. If you ever have this for your motherboard, you only need to plug in the 4+4 on the left. That is the main power. On the right side, if your power supply allows for it, it can add extra stability for like overclocking and whatnot. And if you have a beefy system with a capable motherboard and power supply, you should probably plug that in. You definitely don't have to though. For a system like this, we definitely don't need it because, I mean, we're not overclocking and the 9600X probably doesn't need it regardless. But also, our budget power supply doesn't even have a double 4+4 CPU power cable. So even if we wanted to, we couldn't. But that 4+4 on the right is not mandatory. I always plug in both. I figure why not? That's a perfect mentality to have. That's fine. All right, I'm gonna put this on here like that. Screw it down and we should be good to go. Are super chats working? Yeah, I see a couple. I gotta catch up, sorry. All right, but before I do that, this $950 pure performance gaming PC is dude, it's dark in there. There we go. Dude, that dare I say that's pretty clean. That is not too shabby. I'm kind of digging that. What do you guys think? No RGB? No RGB in this one. It's a pure performance gaming PC. We're not gonna spend money on RGB, man. All right, let's plug it in, make sure it all spins. No budget for RGB on this one. I'll go over the parts list as soon as we confirm that it's A, not going to blow up, and B, there we go. Whew. Nothing happened there for a little bit. All right. All 4 fans are spinning. CPU fan, is that spinning? Yeah, that's spinning. It's so dark in here. That looks good, man. The $950 pure performance gaming PC is complete.